Dallas Morning News. How unfulfilled are you with this?
Very. Yeah, I mean, you don't play the game for ties. I've told y'all before, I don't care about the stats. I don't care about the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows. I just care about the end result and the win. And so when you don't get that, right now it's tough for me, guess 10 years in, the first tie I've been a part of, it's hard to kind of wrap my head around it because I know I'd feel a hell of a lot worse if it was a loss. But I'm not satisfied. Not that I would be if we won, but yeah, it's a weird feeling. To what Shadi alluded to, though, I know I heard the end of it, is just like the fight and the resilience of the team, though, staying together, believing in each other, every chance, every opportunity. I mean, I don't know about you, but I thought that last play of regulation before the clock was done then. So, yeah, just tough to wrap my head around the tie right now. But a lot that we can build from, a lot we can grow from. We're still only, four weeks into the season, so we're almost done with this first quarter of it. And we're starting to figure out, I guess, who we are in a sense, on both sides. And it's about playing complementary ball and making sure we get a win and whatever it takes to get a win. And so we didn't do that tonight. That'll be the conversation tomorrow and throughout this next week is doing whatever it takes to win.
What did you guys do to kind of slow down Parsons?
I mean, it goes back to the plan I guess I told you guys on Thursday, right? Like, I mean, it was going to be hands on deck, whether it be the tight ends or whether it be the running backs. And honestly, there was one-on-ones, and those tackles did their job, stepped up and did what they needed to do, kept them off, kept them away from me. Obviously, I told you I'm playing against a time clock, whether it's Micah or whether it's the rest of those guys, Gary. I mean, they've got a great front up there, and so yeah, we played on time and got the ball out. Receivers got to their spots that allowed me to play on time, and yeah, I guess they gave them. I found out a half a sack on that last little. That's for y'all storyteller guys. So it's no sack.
0 yards.
That's a sack.
The sack with 0 yards.
Yeah, they did that for y'all. They did that for y'all for the theatrics of it, for the storyline. Yeah, like a tie.
Clarence Hill, DLLS Cowboys. You brought up that last play. Did you think you was running it in?
Honestly, just being honest, I didn't know that was Micah quite on my back. And I didn't think I was going to really, being honest with you, get to the end zone. I was just trying to get as much as I can.
You talked earlier in the week about the trash talk and enjoying playing against him. Was there much talk? Can you
Zero. Not at all. Not at all. Until afterwards, and it was good talks afterwards, staying healthy. Great job. Fun competing against you. But, yeah, no talks happened at all.
One more. And when that incomplete pass in overtime, clock is 1, did you think the game was over?
1,000%. I mean, I thought just the way that they got up to the line, and I don't want to say not with urgency because there was some, but and then I realized that, hey, they're not spiking this, and they're going to take an opportunity at the end zone. And he didn't get it out immediately, and the ball hung, especially when it went off of Sanborn's back. Yeah, I thought it was going to hit 0 for sure.
Dak, Todd Archer with ESPN. You talked about we're building on. You're starting to figure out who you are. Who are you guys? Who can you be?
Yeah, I mean, we can be explosive. We can be a monster team. We get some stops in the way this offense is playing. Defense slow down just the big plays. I mean, they're playing good defense. It's just big plays here and there that, put them behind. And now their back's against the wall and they're in the red zone. So I've got faith in, obviously, Eberflus and the rest of those guys over there of stopping big plays. And not only that, the way that they rally to the ball, the way that they hustle, and the way that they play, the turnovers are going to come as well. I mean, we got the one right there at the end of the half. Almost got the one. I actually didn't see what happened, but with Diggs right there, interception, that they keep playing the way that they're playing, rallying the ball. Great effort. The turnovers will come. As we say, turnovers come in bunches. So when that happens, we've just also got to start faster on offense. We start faster on offense and do things like we've done this week and other than last week, right? We can be explosive team.
How do you not get frustrated when 43 seconds left, you take the lead? You take the lead again in overtime. How does that not, like?
I love it. It's the game. It's the game of football. It's the NFL. You're playing against the best. And that means you've got to play your best when it's needed. Thankful for these opportunities. As I told y'all before, I guess, right? Like, especially when you miss ball, when you've been hurt and you've had to sit there and watch it. You watch games on, watching those college games on Saturday, all those come down to the wire, and then watch the noon games. Like, you want to be in those positions. You don't want to watch just other people execute and be in those positions. And not only that, that just helps you. That experience just makes you better for, more of those to come. So it's fun. It's part of it. It's not, sure, I believe in my defense and they're going to stop it and make the play. And sure, if they do or they hold them to a field goal or whatever it is, I'm just thankful that we still have an opportunity to go out there and answer. And this game, I can be mad about the 1 second on the clock. I can be mad that, they drove the ball. But at the end of the day, I'm pissed that we didn't score in the red zone. We had an opportunity to score in the red zone, and we do that. And they're having to, get back on the line again and throw another Hail Mary to the end zone. So not for 1 second am I looking in the defense. I'm a guy that looks inward first and looks at what we need to do and what I need to do to help this team. And if we score in the red zone or start faster, who knows if we're in this position.
You go back to those 3 plays after first and goal in the 5 and look at them and what was there, what wasn't there. I don't know if you saw Ferguson on 3rd down, if you looked at it later on the tablet at all.
Yeah, no, I did look at it later, and then when it's on the tablet, it's just one of those of did it come open late? Obviously I've got other reads, and he's more of a check down there. Could I have scrambled? Could I have, extended the play? But also, you got points in your back pocket that you don't, want to extend the play and not do the right thing, or give a guy like Micah or Gary, one of those guys, that can back or chase you down and have a turnover. So I'm not upset with the decision I made by any means, but 100%. And whether it's that or whether it's a 3rd down in the 3rd quarter, there's always plays you look back that you want, and especially when you don't win, and even when you win, and damn sure when you tie.
John Machota with The Athletic. You just give us your thoughts on how you thought George Pickens played tonight and just what was working with you guys.
Yeah, no surprises, honestly. Super proud of him. He played just as I expected him to play, and what I was most impressed about is just the way that he was focused and locked in the game, the whole game, and not only just locked in, doing everything that he needed to do and do it right, but just the conversations he's having in the huddle, uplifting other guys, saying the right things to, keep guys focused and keep guys staying in the moment and being present. And not only was he saying it, he was doing it himself and being an example, and made play after play to big play after play to give us a chance. And whether it's the overtime touchdown, whether it's the touchdown right before overtime, or whether it was the overtime catch on the sideline, or early in the game of, right before the first touchdown, making that one-on-one on the left sideline. He made plays all night long, and not surprised at all. He's done that all camp. He's done that his whole career, and just having a guy like that, he's going to do more of it.
And then there were a lot of big plays in the passing game, but in particular that one to Jalen Tolbert. Could you just take us through what you saw on that and what you thought of when you saw that he was able to get both feet in bounds?
Yeah, I had a little pressure, got up, right, went up and then out to my right, and at that point, he was pretty much the only one that was available to throw the ball to, and I saw that how deep they're in the end zone. I knew I couldn't get it all the way there, and so I made a play like that, I guess, a couple years back to CD, and it was just more of like, I'm going to throw this short and towards the sideline, where like either he's going to get it or nobody's going to get it, because I know he's going to react to it first. So I threw it, and the rest was him, honestly. It was a hell of a catch, an amazing job of keeping both feet in bounds. I wasn't quite sure. We planned to do a turbo, get up on the ball just in case, and when you hear from the headset, huddle, huddle, you're like, okay, dang, that was a for sure catch then. And then seeing it on the replay, that's a guy that's just been consistent and taking advantage of his opportunities when they've come his way, and especially after a guy like CD goes down, he stepped up huge tonight, and wasn't just that catch, it was catches right before overtime. It was all night long that he had great production for us.
What do you hear on the headset then if it's incomplete?
I don't hear anything. We're just obviously going to keep rushing up to try to do our turbo play, but my point is when he said the huddle, that means they must have gotten a view from the coaches or something that it was a for sure catch if we're huddling. So
Nick Harris, Fort Worth Star-Telegram. It had been roughly 10 months since you had played in a live game environment coming into the season. Why do you think you've been able to hit the ground running in these first 4 weeks, and evidently no rust really from your game?
I've been playing 10 years, 10 months or not. And not only that, when I went out, right, sure, I was already starting my rehab, as soon as the off season hit, right? But going down in the middle of the season or early in the season like I did, right, you have the surgery, and then, you take your time off to rest. But then my offseason probably started a lot earlier than anybody else's in the NFL's offseason. So just the work that I put into this. Credit Britt, Luke Miller, my PT, and then credit obviously, Shotty, the guys, the receivers, every single receiver that anytime I asked them to come, they showed up. That it's process, and it's the way that I love to work. And I've told you that before. It's something that I've got to balance as I get older, right? Trying to outwork everybody, but doing it the right amount of time and making sure I'm not overextending my body. And so I think this just is all the hard work paying off, and going to continue.
Understanding that there's little margin of error when the defense is the bottom scoring in the league, do you kind of think about that week to week? It's like, okay, I'm going to have 100% of my effort each and every week. Not that you wouldn't, but kind of understanding that it's going to take everything from all 11 guys to pull out wins.
Yeah, I mean, it's not about the defense, as you said. It's more of just about, like, that's who I am for one, and that's what I expect out of the team, and that's what they expect out of themselves. And if I didn't expect that, then the defense should be looking at me, and they should be looking at the offense and what are we doing? That the way to play complementary and to be there for your brothers, to make sure that you're not letting them down and you're doing everything in your preparation to have the best game that you can ever have. And so that's the way that I approach it. That's the way that I approach each and every week, whether it's the film study, the practice, or trying to get guys going just throughout the week in the building or at practice. It's about being accountable, and it's about making sure I'm handling my job and taking care of everything that I can. And if I can influence others to do the same, I'm going to do that. And so I think that takes care of itself.
And a quick one, we saw you on the sideline dealing with a heating pad on your lower back. Everything good there?
Everything's great. Just getting older. Just things come up a little bit, but I'm fine.
Tommy Arsh, DallasCowboys.com. When Jake caught that touchdown, it looked like 1,000 pounds got lifted off his back. You kind of embraced it for a little longer. What'd you tell him, and how good was it for him to get back in the end zone?
Yeah, I mean, I just told him I loved him. I was proud of him. I understand that how long it's been for him. And as a guy who wants to contribute, make plays, and help his team win, and even though he's been doing that consistently every game, you want to get in the end zone, right, and help your team that way. And selfishly, you want those touchdowns. So, as you said, I knew how much of a weight that was lifted off of him, and getting that first one's just going to allow all the rest of them to come. I mean, you go back 2 years ago, the guy was getting touchdowns, at nonstop. So it's a confidence builder for another point, and super just proud of him. It's a guy that, as I said, wants to contribute to this team every which way possible that he can, and that he can. And it was awesome just for him to get back in there, and that won't be the last. I can promise you that.
Garrett Podell, CBS Sports Dak. A lot of people compare your hot start to 2020. Is this the best kind of start to the season you feel like you've had?
I mean, I don't know if a 1-2-1 record would say that, and I don't like to compare anything to the 2020 season. Lastly, I just want to keep playing the way that I'm playing and really get get better every week.
And with 3 touchdowns, 300 yards, no picks, you passed Tony Romo for the most such games in franchise history. What does that mean as you continue and you're starting to become number 1 in the Cowboys record books for a lot of things?
It's awesome. It's something I never take for granted. It's not something that I'm patting myself on the back for. But it's something that I understand the history before me. I understand the players who have come before me, and it's an honor. But at the end of the day, I want to win games, and I want to chase, Roger and Troy and the accomplishments that they have.
Hey, Dak, Patrick Walker, DallasCowboys.com. A couple questions, one circling back to George. The chemistry between you guys, both of you guys have talked about it throughout the offseason, but especially this week coming into this game and seeing how it manifested out there. Talk about the level of chemistry and trust required for you to throw the ball that you threw to him in double coverage, knowing that he would come down with it.
Yeah, I mean, the guys, that's what he's done. I mean, that's when I say, like, look at his film and look at his resume, whether it's just been in the months that he's been here or the time he's had in Pittsburgh. That's what he does. That's who he is, and that's what allows that chemistry to grow, is when I get a guy who I've seen on film make play after play, and then, he shows up here and he's not missed a beat, and he's getting better. He's getting older through experience and more mature. That trust just only grows more, and the chemistry is just going to expedite that whole process. And he's a hell of a player, and he loves football, and that's what I love most about George. He's a guy who loves football. He's a hell of a teammate, and he's always locked in, whether he's getting the ball or not in the past games when CD was here, or now he's the number one and he's being called upon. He embraces that role and that responsibility, and as I said, just the language and the things he was talking in the huddle, proud of him.
As far as obviously goes without saying, you guys don't want to ever be without a guy like CeeDee Lamb. But when you lose a guy like that, to see the long list of guys that helped George step up, KaVontae, Jalen Tolbert, Jake Ferguson, what does that do for their confidence going forward, knowing that they can contribute at those?
Yeah, and Ron Flournoy, I know you missed him there. No, it's okay, but those are guys who have been itching for their opportunity, honestly. You know, when you've got a guy like CeeDee and you got a guy like George, you know, there's only one ball there when you're speaking about two of those great players, right? And so those other guys, you know, are like, well, whether they can get crumbs, whatever it is, they're ready to make plays and opportunities. And so when you lose a guy like that, all you're getting is these hungry men and playmakers who are saying that I can be a guy too. And so I think that's just what you're going to see is in a guy like Flo, a guy like JT, Turp telling you I'm not just a returner. You know, JT, you know, whether he led the team in touchdowns last year or not, that's not a fluke. And he's trying to, you know, continue to prove himself and show that he can be a big-time receiver in this league. And then Flo, who's had limited opportunities, who's going to try to take advantage of each and every one of them. And they all did that tonight. And super proud of their effort. Big-time catches late, big-time catches when it was needed, and great routes and getting to their spots. And what I'm going to just preach and just make sure these guys understand that's one game. And we've got to make sure that we go into practice with the same attitude of getting better, and we've got to do it each and every week. So that's just the start of it, but proud of them.
Mike Leslie, WFA, just to drill a little further on Turpin in particular. He made a couple plays tonight. He's made some plays this season that seem to anyway have shown some real growth from him at the wide receiver position. How have you seen that element of his game develop, and what are some of maybe the finer points of what you've seen?
Yeah, the finer points is his route running. And not only that, him understanding that, like, people are scared of his speed, and speed wins. You know, you talk about speed, and everybody thinks, like, right, a guy like Tyreek Hill, right? And why does he do what he does? It's because he has uncanny speed. Like, it's tough to find that type of speed, quickness, agility, and Turp is the same way. And so when he's out there and a guy has him one-on-one, he's scared. And that's also what allows me to, you know, to anticipate throws with Turp and trust, as, you know, he has that little speed burst that is almost like an indicator. And he's just going to continue to get better with the more opportunities that he gets.
Dak, talking to the defense tonight, you just got a lot of guys in there that are frustrated, right? I mean,
Say again?
You got a lot of guys talking to the guys in the locker room on the defensive side of the ball. A lot of guys are frustrated right now as far as just, you know, like a couple guys said, we shouldn't lose when we put up 40 points, right? You as a leader, you as, you know, been here, done that. What is your role in keeping this defense, keeping these guys focused or not too high, not too low when y'all are balling, but the defense is struggling? Yeah,
locker room talk. Make sure that they're not finger pointing, making sure that they're being accountable, almost trying to get them to answer their own questions, you know, whether they're frustrated and they're saying certain things, you know, almost ask them why. And, you know, look in the mirror and ask yourself why that and why again. So ultimately is to make sure that there's no finger pointing and, you know, that they continue to trust one another and build on whatever trust that they have in one another. I'm not in their meetings, you know, I don't know their calls, and I can't, you know, hold somebody accountable to not making the right call or communicating. So it's about making sure that they're staying positive and keeping their heads up and believing in themselves and understanding that not only me, but this offense and this team has their back. So I'd be damned if they get down on themselves. We need them. And if they do get down on themselves, that's a selfish act, excuse me. So it's about making sure that they're staying positive and understanding that they control it. And whether it's one guy or two guys or the communication of all 11, they control what they go out there and they do.
Two things. You said you're chasing Troy, and Rod, or you passed Troy for the most completions in franchise history today. So if you do that. Secondly, Jerry said that you're showing why he paid you, you know, and that you're playing the best football of your career because you're indispensable. Can you talk about why are you playing so well right now?
Yeah, the work that I've put in, honestly, and not only that, just the experience on top of it. I know I told you about that in training camp. Like, experience is the best teacher in whatever it is that you're doing in life, and especially in this game. I mean, you ask some of these older quarterbacks or these guys who have played longer, and that's why a lot of us, these quarterbacks, think that they can play until their 40s, because you're getting better as you get older, because the way that you're seeing things, the quickness in recognizing the defense or their blitzes or what they're trying to give you that allows you to play ahead of it. And so that on top of me working, being healthy, and having trust in my teammates and the play calling, I think it's all of it combined, and it's not, just me. I mean, you go out there and look, I miss throws, right? Like, I'm never satisfied with whatever performance that I put out there. And so I'm just thankful to play this game and the peace that this game brings me. I would never want to cheat it. And so it's about just trying to get better at it each and every day.
You brought up the play calling. Talk about shoddy the game he called tonight, being gutsy with the fourth down call late.
Yeah, hell of a game. Hell of a play call there, right? And not only there, just throughout the game, made some crucial play calls, and not only that, giving me some opportunity to get to some plays that, I felt comfortable in, or the guys on the sideline felt comfortable in as we were talking about them. Just the trust in that is to be able to, I wouldn't say draw something up, but pull something out that we haven't worked in all all week, and have the trust in calling that we're going to go out there and we're going to execute it. He's continuing to call a hell of a game, and feels great for us when we're rolling. To go and put that 95-yard drive together, I think was the start of all of it, right? And you just see the play actions, the run, the commitment to the run on that drive, right? And then getting down there and throwing a touchdown, or I think that might even been the rushing touchdown, right? Just putting everything that we've practiced and everything on his play sheet, calling it, and I think that's a huge part of it.
You've played two extra quarters in 4 weeks as a team. How does that impact as the season goes on? Maybe not you, or the team. I mean,
we've got 2 more quarters of experience than other people, other than the 2 teams that we played. So I think I would hope that's how guys take it. We're a young team. Talking about not being complacent, I hope guys aren't looking for rest this week, or however we've got to, or, oh, that was a tough game. Hell yeah, it was a tough game. The NFL's tough, and next week's going to be tough too. So honestly, that's it. Just 2 more quarters of experience, and so and as well as I got you, as well as just the confidence building and understanding that you have the resiliency to play 70 minutes, right? And that when it goes into overtime, having this experience is going to make us feel better if we get into another overtime game, whenever it is, that we're going to do the right things and that we're going to come out with the win.
Last one.
Right before y'all converted the 4th down, on that 3rd down, Micah had come around with some wild hands. You stepped up just in time before he was able to potentially slap it away. Did you feel him there, or was it kind of a right move, right time type of situation?
I mean, I'm sure I felt him if I moved up, to be honest with you. I mean, that just is the playing the game and, trusting what you feel and understanding the move. Once again, I wasn't necessarily sure, and it's not clicking in my head. It's Micah. What's clicking in my head is the coverage and the reads and where I need to go with the ball. So, I mean, he actually told me after the game, when you watch this film, you're gonna be lucky you're on your shit, is what he said. And I'm like, why? And he's like, you'll see. And so, once again, it's not just me. It was credit to the offensive line. It was credit to the tight ends, running backs, everybody. Once again, and not just Micah, that whole pass rush of having all hands on deck. And then lastly, credit to the receivers and making sure they're hitting their spots, their routes, and getting to the right within the right time clock so we can play fast.
Do you have any words for him in that conversation?
For Micah? Yeah, I just told him, proud of him, just, stay healthy and stay at it. And he said he'd see me again soon. So it was fun competing against him. We had the one play, I think, there in the overtime when I had that naked his way, and he went for a little push at me. I wanted to extend that and keep doing more, but I realized,